Today we are going to begin with our first lesson from Moments, The Lost Child, written by Mulk Raj Anand. Do you know, children? He is considered a founder of the English language Indian novel. The Lost Child is the story of a small child who gets lost in a fair. The little child, accompanied by his parents, was going to the spring fair. As the winter season had just ended, all the people were coming out of their houses and going to enjoy the fair. Some walked, some rode on horses, some in bullock carts. The little child was moving fast with his parents. He was excited and overjoyed. When he lagged behind, his parents called him to come. He remained behind to see the toys in the shops. The little boy wanted the toy, though he could see the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. His father was angry, so his mother gave him her finger to hold and guided him to see other things. The child was attracted to the flowering mustard field that seemed like flowing stream of gold. He saw a group of dragonflies, black bees and butterflies were bustling over the mustard flowers. The child tried to catch one of them, but he was called by his mother. He ran gaily towards his parents. Soon he was attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath. His parents called him from the grove of shade where they were sitting. As he entered the grove, there was a shower of young flowers over him, and he started picking up the raining petals in his hands, forgetting his parents. He heard the dove cooing, and that made him run towards his parents, shouting, "The dove! The dove!" and dropped the petals from his forgotten hands. He also ran around the banyan tree, but again he was called by his parents. Soon the child reached the fair. He heard a sweet meat seller calling, "Gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi." The sweet shop was greatly decorated with different sweets. Seeing the sweets, the child's mouth watered. He said, "I want that barfi." Barfi was his favorite sweet, but he knew that his saying would go unheeded, as they would call him greedy. So the child went ahead with his parents. He heard a flower seller saying, "A garland of gulmohar." The child went to the flower basket. He wanted a garland, but he knew his parents would refuse to buy him, saying they were cheap. So he moved on. Then he saw a balloon seller. He had balloons of various colors. He wanted one, but the child knew his parents would not buy him a balloon, saying he was too old to play with such toys. So he walked on farther. The child then saw a snake charmer. He was playing a flute to a snake. He went near the snake charmer, but he knew that his parents had asked him not to hear such coarse music. So he went ahead. Then he saw a merry-go-round. Men, women, children were enjoying a ride on it. The child called, "I want to go to the roundabout. Please, father, mother." But there was no reply. He turned to look for them, but they were not there. The child was in a very bad shape. A full, deep cry rose within the child's deep throat. He cried, "Mother! Father!" Tears rolled down his eyes. He cried and ran to and fro, but he couldn't see his parents. He saw people laugh and talk. Then he ran to a shrine. There was a big crowd there. The child went a bit ahead between the people's feet, but he was pushed back. A man heard his cry. He lifted him up in his arms. The man tried to soothe him. The man asked the child how he got there. He also asked him the names of his parents. But the child only said, "I want my mother. I want my father." The man took the child to the merry-go-round. He asked him if he wanted to ride on the horse. But the child said, "I want my mother. I want my father." Then the man took him to the snake charmer and asked him to enjoy the music. But the child shut his ears and said, "I want my mother. I want my father." Then the man asked him if he would like to take a balloon. But the child sobbed and sobbed. He wanted his father and mother only. The man then took the child to the flower seller. He asked him if he would like to put a flower garland round his neck. The child turned his nose. He only said, "I want my mother. I want my father." Then the man took him to a sweet shop and asked him which sweet he would like. The child turned his face. He only said, "I want my mother. I want my father."